Why are the top 10 Bible translations popular? According to Thom Rainer, we're going to be looking at the top 10 Bible translations. We're going to talk about their popularity. We're going to talk about three today, three specific translations. By the way, welcome to the Church Answers podcast. My name is Jess Rainer. I'm here with my dad, Thom Rainer, and we are in part 2 of a 4-part series where we're looking at the top 10 Bible translations and the reasons they are in the top 10. So go back. If you missed the first episode, we gave some introductory, some history, some philosophy of Bible translations. But today we're going to be looking at the top 3. I guess we're not going to go 10 up. We're going to go 1 down.
Right.
And so we're going to start with number 1 today. But before we jump into it, we want to take a moment and thank one of our sponsors of this podcast, and it is Cheney and Associates. They are an incredible accounting firm for the local church. In fact, that's the only type of accounting and bookkeeping they do.
Over 1,100 churches.
Over 1,100 churches for the local church. And so if you have a bookkeeper that maybe is retiring soon, or you just have a need, maybe you want some help, go check out CheneyAssociates.com/church answers. CheneyAssociates.com/church answers. They want you to lead your church, and they're going to do so by handling the numbers so that you can have clear financial insights to guide ministry decisions with confidence. So go check them out. All right. We're going to be looking at number 1, 2, and 3 of your top 10. So we're not starting from the bottom. We're starting from the top. And we're going to be looking at why are these translations at the top of the list. So we're going to start off with the top translation, the NIV.
Caveat.
Strategic pause there, for effect.
Caveat.
All right. Always.
First, I don't think we can be certain. These are sales rankings. So
Okay.
I don't think we can be certain that our sales numbers are precise. They're generally correct, okay? There's so many different sources for sales numbers, and none of them have access to the actual publisher of these Bibles, except the publisher themselves for their particular translation. So we have to say that. Secondly, there can be variations in rankings. There can be variations from month to month, but generally and directionally, the 10 with which we are examining tend to be consistently here. Okay? So the other caveat that I want to make is this. We're going to talk about why they are popular. This is not going to, I'm not going to go through the arduous task of doing strengths, weaknesses. I'm going to give a general statement of why this is the most popular. You can dig into translation philosophies and different type of translations forever, but I'm just going to say this is why this one is so popular. And that's what we're going to do.
In a way, this is your analysis of the top 10 in terms of sales Bible translations. This is your analysis of why this translation is the top selling, why this translation is the 7th top selling, and you're providing that information on the why behind it.
On the why behind it. And it'll be mostly positive. So just
sure.
Someone said, oh, he's going to come back and just eviscerate one of these translations. No, I'm just glad people are reading the Bible. Okay.
At the end of the day, like that really, as a pastor, it's like, just read it. It's just
read the way that you can read it best. Listen the way that you can listen best. And that's all you need to know. So let's start off with the New International Version.
Mm-hmm.
Its translation philosophy is generally thought to be dynamic equivalent, which is thought for thought. Now, what do you mean thought by thought? Let me just give another explanation for that. It may be a phrase in the Greek or Hebrew that's made into a phrase into the English. In some cases, it may be the word itself, just word for word. But the whole idea is to communicate thoughts and not just a single word at a time. Mm-hmm. This is a translation philosophy. Again, there is a spectrum from very formal to very loose, which would be very informal or very dynamic equivalent. And I lean toward the dynamic equivalent, but not too far. Mm-hmm. You go too far on dynamic equivalent, all of a sudden you could be in the paraphrase area, which is not a translation itself.
Correct.
So New International, why were they popular? They were the first major evangelical English translation. First major modern evangelical English translation.
Okay.
When they came on, the oh man, it was I can remember the days when the NIV came on because I was reading a Catholic Bible at the time. It was called the Jerusalem Bible. The reason I read it is not because I wanted the Apocrypha, not because I had converted to Catholicism. It was because it was one of the few translations out there that was readable. And so, my parents heard about it and they said, "Why are you reading a Jerusalem Bible?" I was away from home about that time. I said, "Because I can read it." Just simply. I still have my original Jerusalem Bible that it's pages are falling out.
Yeah. So the NIV came in, would that be late 70s, early 80s?
70s.
Okay.
So I'd have to go back and look at the specific date, but I believe it's 77. So the NIV came out, and for the most part, I never picked up the Jerusalem Bible again. I was an ardent supporter of the NIV for many, many years.
You wanted something you could digest.
I did. King James wasn't doing it. There was nothing on the market, and I felt somewhat of a guilt by reading a Catholic Bible since I was a Protestant, and particularly since I was evangelical. NIV dominated the market for the longest time, and they continue to have that first mover advantage. So that's one of the two. The second one is King James, and
I just think classic. That's what I think of King James. Classic.
It is. And its translation philosophy is pretty rigid. It's pretty word for word. And you look at the antiquity of it and also the translation philosophy, it is hard to read. It is, and that's not a critique, it's just the reality. It's hard sometimes to listen to because of the archaic language. But poetic beauty, and it dominated the scene for the longest time. It was accepted by so many. When King James said, "Hey, we're going to get a Bible for English translation for everyone," they said, "Okay." And it has dominated for 4 centuries.
Yeah. Today it is a little bit more difficult to read because you're trying to translate the English in order then to understand what it's saying.
You read a passage and then you tell the congregation, if you're preaching, "Let me tell you what this just said."
Yes. Thee and thou and making that into more modern English. And I do think, as the advance of technology, I think I'm sure there's some stats out there. I think it feels like as a culture, generally speaking, we're reading less.
We are.
The less we read, the harder it is to read, just other types of English, the these and the thous. It takes way more brain power. And so a lot of people are reading less, but it's still a very widely popular selling translation.
It is. The NIV came into the evangelical world and dominated when it came. The King James Bible came into the English speaking world and dominated when it did. Much broader audience.
So I guess, and I don't know if you answer this, but any idea of why it's still so widely popular? Is it just tradition?
It is tradition. People got hooked on it for 4 centuries, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to let go. I mean, you think of all the wedding vows that have been done in the King James. You think about all the memorization that has been done in the King James. You think about all the literature that has been produced in the King James. It got a foothold, and it is a classic. But I'll let you talk about another classic outreach ministry if you want to.
Yeah, we can do that. The King James is fascinating, but also what's fascinating is, especially if you're a church leader and you're listening to this, is reaching your community. That's pretty fascinating. And one of the ways you can do that is by partnering with someone who will help you reach the community. And so we here at Church Answers have partnered with Upward. They are one of our sponsors for this podcast. And Upward Sports got a ton of different sports available that you could jump in and they could help you with. But in particular, they have one called Upward Running for Adults. They would love to come and help you offer a 5K challenge in your community. So you don't worry about facilities. Don't worry about limitations. All you need is one passionate person in your church. And if you're a church leader, go find that passionate person. Maybe you have a runner and you want to tap into their passion for running. Go to upward.org/runcoach or have that person go to upward.org/runcoach. Reach out to Upward Sports and just see how simple it is to start. They will help you build connections in your community. They'll give you all the tools you need go check out upward.org/runcoach and see how they can help you reach your community through offering a 5K challenge. I don't know if Upward uses the KJV or not and some of their things. My guess is they don't.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know. But maybe they use in some of their literature and things they publish, maybe they use our third popular.
Yeah, and NLT and ESV kind of change places from time to time.
Okay.
So we'll be doing the ESV next time.
Oh, you just spoiled for the next podcast.
Yeah, and that's actually a week. That's a week away too.
Yeah.
Oh my. I'm sorry. Should I sing Henry VIII to kind of make up for it?
No, that was the previous episode. No, we're good with that one. Yeah. So no, but we're number 3 is the NLT, which again, as you mentioned, you had a partnership with.
Have a partnership with.
What's that?
I have a partner. Church Answers has a partnership with
Tyndale. Right. And so we love what Tyndale's doing and the NLT. What makes it so popular as the number 3 most widely popular selling translation?
Well, as we have looked at this list, we started with the NIV, which was thought for thought, and which was more of the dynamic equivalent. Then we went to King James, which was certainly more formal and archaic. The NLT is a newer thought for thought, so it came on the scene newer. But Church Answers did some research on this, and here's what we found out was the key popular reason behind the NLT: listenability. What do people hear? And so if you were to do a blind test and read the same passage from, say, our top 10 or maybe 15 translations, more likely than not, the listener would say, I get the NLT. So listenability has been a surprising issue. We even have some pastors, Jess, that say prefer the just another translation, but they use the NLT to preach from because the people understand it. They say, we get it. And when you do this with the younger generations, particularly Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they resonate with the listenability of NLT.
Yeah. So even that, I think more people go to or doing audio apps. I mean, just the Bible app and just listening to it. When you're listening to it, the NLT has rose because of just that ability to receive the information via listening. So
let me just give you one story. You led a man to Christ at your church who happened to be walking on the street. His name was James. And y'all started a conversation. He became a follower of Christ. He was baptized.
He initiated the conversation. I'll give him some credit for that. He did.
Okay. He did, but he was just walking on the street. He doesn't have a car, so he walks between his house and the place where he works. Great guy. And I asked him 2 or 3 weeks ago from this podcast, I said, you got a Bible, James? And he did, and it's King James. And he said, I really read it. Sometimes I don't understand it, but I really read it. And I said, I'm going to give you an NLT. And so I did. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. He won't leave the King James, but this is a different approach. King James is older and it is word for word, closely word for word, whereas the NLT is thought for thought or dynamic equivalent. Listenability, readability somewhat, but listenability more than anything. So that's our top 3 for today, Jess.
That is that top 3. These are the top 3 best-selling translations in the United States. NIV number 1, KJV number 2, and NLT number 3. So that again, you've kind of spoiled it a little bit. We had a bit of spoiler. We're going to be looking at 4, 5, and 6, but we're going to be looking at the why behind why 4, 5, and 6 are 4, 5, and 6, and our third part of 4 parts regarding Bible translation and what makes them so popular in the United States. Before we wrap this one up, we want to thank just one more time Cheney and Associates. We're so thankful for them and all the work they do. We're thankful for the Church Advisory Podcast, where they help out churches with administrative and financial needs. But if you have a direct need for someone to come alongside of you and help you at your church with any finance or accounting needs, go check out CheneyAssociates.com/church answers, CheneyAssociates.com/church answers. go see what they can do. Our encouragement is always just to do a 30-minute discovery call. Just real quickly, just hit them up and just say, hey, how can you help me out? Any church size, any church budget, they can help you out. So go check them out. Well, hopefully you will catch us on the next episode, which will be the third of 4 parts as we continue to do this quick dive into the top 10 most popular translations in the United States. And we look forward to seeing you then.